Hello everybody, this is Jason and today I'm going to be breaking down my remix for Alestorm's Drink. So let's begin with the video. So here we are in the project and I'm wearing this. Yes, I'm wearing this 12 video. So right here we have some stems. As you can see, I can just open these up. Yes, these are paid stamps, they're not illegally downloaded. So here is the synth of their song, what you call that, that's what it was called. And then in here we have the first element. As you can see, if you only have the synth here, of this. And of course we don't want only that part. So in here I made kind of an intro, right? So you hear this. And that is made with a respace right here. And that reed is made in citrus, like all of these sounds, except the samples, of course. In here, and I admit that I didn't find this all out myself, follow tutorials, I'm honest about that, but trying to learn from those, and maybe in the future I hope that I will be able to, you know, kind of make these out of myself. So what we have here is a respace, it's pitched down all the way. Here we have a saw wave, not a saw wave, and here we have a sine wave, but I'm not using this, I think, no. So we have two saw waves, and then we have a filter here, which is a low pass filter, I think that's what you call it. It's this type, so you can change that. Then you have effects, and I used the reverb here, didn't add chorus in there, and no delay if I'm correct, yes. And then of course it goes to a mixing channel. So this one is in 22, I think I made that, yeah, reed, okay. So I added the structure on here, and we have distortion. So that's what gives it like this distortion thingy. And yeah, that's added in both reeds because we have two of them right here. We have the first one, and then we have, yeah, the first one's here. All the way pitched down, it's just two playing here with different frequencies. That's how a reed is made. So yeah, okay, so that's how you make a reed. And yeah, those are two reeds. So here we have a reed, then we have a crash here, of course, we have drums and all, we have an impact, and we have no automations in here because there are only two, and not here. And then we also have a brass shot here, which I made also through a tutorial in the GMS plugin, and it sounds like this. So you also have that one, and together it sounds like this. And of course you have the hi-hats in here to add some extra percussion, or rights, sorry, to add extra percussion in there, right? So yeah, and then here we have the second section, which is the kind of other intro, which is this. So what we have here is the synth again. Then we have a guitar playing here from that part, and then we have a sub bass here, we have the reeds, then we have the brass, and here we have the drums. So we have a kick, a layered snare, and right. And in here you will see a pattern which is just a snare, which is there to kind of fill up the empty space. So together with also the vocal. It sounds like this. So yeah, you have that. Then it just goes on for a while, and then right here we come into this section right here, which is where you kind of get the first difference in the song. You know, so you have this, and then it goes to this. So this is kind of me trying to remake the synth melody. It's not 100% accurate, I know, but you have the synth in the background here, and then you have the reese. This is the other one. You have brass, kick, and then here you have the percussion, which are actually offbeat rides with toms. And then you have an impact, and well, that's basically it for this part, I guess. Of course, you also have that. It's just a distorted guitar, which I added there with some delay effects. So it kind of goes on here. Nothing much to say about this. Here it goes a pitch lower, and that's kind of it, I guess. And then here you have the build up, which is kind of empty, I must admit, but it kind of works, I guess. You have a sub riser, and then you have the guitar from the other part here, and then you have drums, right? That's a build up. You have a clap, which goes increasing, and then it stops, and then it just goes back. So you have one other section there. Then you have more vocals in here, which is nothing much to say about, other than that they have, which I should mention, they have a little bit of boost here. The treble, the high frequencies are a little bit boosted there. So yeah, and then you have an impact, and oh yeah, I added in an up filter here, reversed it here, and then reversed it again here, just to connect the sounds a little bit together. So yeah, that's that. And then we get to the drop here, and again, these sounds are all made in Citrus, and I could go over how I made them if that's what interests you. So you have them here, and they are very similar because they're pretty much cloned, I guess, and I added some slight changes to them. But here we start off with this one. Wait, let me just play that real quick. We start off with this. Oh yeah, I can read this as sub. Right, we start off with this. And it's basically, there are two layers, okay? So we have this one, which is just generally what you hear, and then you have a metallic like bass on the background, just to layer it a little bit. And that metallic bass kind of comes back after, and hear this. That's where it kind of comes back. More on that later. For the drop, further than that, we have white noise, of course. We have sub. These little accordions in here every time. You can actually hear that in here. Well, you can't really hear it, but they're still there. You can, if you pay really close attention in the song itself, I think you can hear it. And then we have, of course, the kick, snare, blah blah blah. It's the same thing as in the first part, kind of. It's just a layered snare with the kicks and all that. You have the fills in here. For anti-space, you have crash, of course. Yeah, it's just the same thing, but more on the sounds then. So how did I make that metallic bass? Well, here is the, I think this one is for the metallic one. I could be mistaken. Which one was it? 7th? No, it's the 6th. Is it? or not. It's because of the sidechain, I think, yeah. So for those, right, first you have this one, which is the second one, and it's not the same thing. There's some slight changes as to the first one, but it's kind of similar. And then in the 18th mixer channel, we have an OTT, which everyone adds into their bases for some reason. Then we have the fruity delay tree, which is the reason why it's so metallic. It's a delay time really low, not the lowest, but it's 0.13. It's really low. Then you have an EQ, and that also cuts out these and boosts some frequencies. And then we have again distortion, and then we have the first one, which is just an EQ and OTT. Also, I think also for cutting out these and then boosting some things here. So those are those bases, right? And then here we have the second part. And before we go into this, let me just mention that this is sidechained, which you should probably use unless it's like an artistic thing. I don't really know. But yeah, more on this later, by the way. Here's a sidechain. I basically made a mixer channel, called it Sidechain, and I remember from the other song, the Stromae remix, I added fruity balance on here and actually sidechained it through there, and the whole project file just got lost and corrupted. So since then I'm paranoid to use it. So this one just goes up and down via the volume knob, and that's about it, right? And all these sounds are linked to the sidechain, which are used sidechaining. So like the drop basses, even the breeze, because that comes back too. Yeah, and that's a thing I would mention. Yeah, so here then we have this, because the metallic bass in here, it's just like a background sound. Hear it? It is there, but it is more quiet. And then in here, it actually is the main element. So I boosted it up, so it doesn't sound quiet. It didn't sound well. And it actually changes up here, because here you have... Oh wait, did I actually... I didn't organize this. Okay, well, here you have a snare. Here you have a snare. Why doesn't... Yeah. Now you have a snare. And here is a clap. And... well, the snare is here, and then the clap is here. And yeah, it's just a little change up. I didn't organize this, so yeah, too bad. I even added a clap thing in here, I didn't even put it in. Well, I guess I was too lazy. Yeah, but anyways, here it changes up and you have a clap, right? It sounds like this. But of course there's more to this than only the sounds. You have the vocal in here, and then you have a sword / sound effect here, because it's a pirate song, right? Why not? Same happens here. You have the fills to kind of fill up the space. Nothing much to say about this. It's just a little change up. It goes like it takes a little break. And of course you have this part, which is well, it's the same deal, but it's just has these in here. I like to use those sometimes. So you get this. You're funny, right? You got this. Kind of goes down and then goes up again. And then here it just goes quiet. And it fades back in to pretty much the same thing as this, so I'm not going to go over this. But yeah, you get this, and then you get the same thing over here, right? There's nothing to go over because I already explained it. Then here you get a drop which just puts everything together, kinda. You get this. So what we have here is synth, right? So, well, it's a synth, you know what it is. And it's pitched up, 1 octave. And then you have here, you have the guitar again, which you have heard before if you didn't skip to this part. And then in here you get the Reese. And there's more to this because otherwise it would be too lazy, right? You have sub bass, and then here you have a kind of weird dubstep thingy going on, which I don't think you really hear. No, you don't really hear this, but it's filling up some space. And then you have white noise. So yeah, that's about this part. Then it ends with basically the intro again. I could go over this, but it's the same. You have the same elements in here, and just goes like this. And then at the end you have this vocal, which is, well, made with reversing the first part and kind of cutting off something, and then just making it fade in like that. It's like a fade in reverb, right? You get this, right? And then it ends off with a bunch of impacts and down filter somewhere here. It's well, there was a down filter in there, if I'm correct. No, well, then it's only with 2 impacts. And yeah, that's about the song really. On the mastering here, I put it at 7 dB lower and an OTT on it. Somebody gave me that tip. So yeah, that's about the song, guys. Thanks for watching. This is basically what it is, and I'll see you in the next video.